The city of Vancouver held yet another media briefing today about how much money has really been lost in the construction of the Olympic Village on False Creek. In the original briefing late last week, city staff claimed taxpayers will lose about $50 million on the billion-dollar project. But then came reports that the actual loss will be closer to $200 million, and the story hit the fan.
Nestled among the leafy trees in West Vancouver is a $5 million house that, according to corporate registry documents, Shahram Malik calls home. Malik is one of two brothers that built the former Olympic Village, which left the city on the hook for hundreds of millions of dollars. While this property is owned by Malik's dad, Amir, a land title search shows the brothers own over 20 properties in BC alone. Their parents jointly own 7. The city has decided not to go after the Malik brothers personally, meaning any assets in their own names they get to keep.
And at the end of the day, they constructed their business affairs in various legal entities.
They hid their money, essentially, or protected their money?
Well, I think they have a complex business, and, you know, I'm really not at liberty to disclose all that. I mean,
money is a sensitive topic at City Hall today after questions were raised about how they reported the city's actual loss on the Olympic Village. On Friday, they announced a loss of $50 million on the loan to Millennium. But what about the $200 million Millennium agreed to pay for the land? They gave the city a $29 million deposit, and because the city had purchased the land years ago for $27 million, they were set to make a $173 million profit. But Millennium couldn't pay, and the city, due to accounting rules, doesn't record this as a loss.
Millennium committed to pay the city $200 million for that land, and we are not going to recover that $200 million. But on the city's books and in our financial statements and in our financial worth, we actually never said that we would get that money. That was aspirational.
If your grandmother bought her condo 25 years ago for $27,000 and then somebody went and bought it from her for $200,000, but then they didn't pay her for it, you'd say, oh, Grandma, you lost $27,000? No, Grandma, you know, you lost $200,000, right? And
if the city hadn't spent the $193 million that it was expecting from Millennium, then you could say it's not a loss. It's just a profit they didn't get. But they did spend that money. Now, some of that money will benefit lands to the east and the west of the Olympic Village, but most of that money has already been spent, and that's why it's a loss.
The $50 million loss the city does account for will likely be paid back from the city's $1 billion property endowment fund. But the committee that oversees that fund hasn't met in about a decade.